Hello there, this is RJB for RJB TV, and welcome back to another video. Today we have, as you can see in the title, JH against Cong. Now I haven't really done JH or Cong in quite a while. Specifically Cong I haven't really given any showcasing on the channel in a while, even though he is honestly a very highly exciting early to mid game player, and that's why I want to have him on the channel again, because I really want to showcase a little bit of that early game madness that this guy can bring to the table. This guy has amazing early game build orders that I could by no means, and I doubt a lot of people could by no means, replicate or pull them off, because they are just so wacky, wonky, weird, and very difficult to pull off, very strong and difficult to defend against as well. I wish I could play like Cong in the early game, although I do have to, add a note here that after his insanely crazy early and mid game, he kind of, don't want to say falls apart in the late game, but his late game isn't as strong as his early and mid game. He really is that early game specialist, one of the very best early game players I've ever seen in my life. Here we've got 1day1 user, also known as JH. I mean, it took like a minute and 20 seconds before I started to introduce him, but JH is known to most players already. He's known as Voss and JH, so I've got a lot of other names as well. He changes names quite often, but he is a very well-known player to us. And he's back here in his Protoss against Protoss that is starting off the series between these two formidable, high-skilled players. Both players actually kind of starting out with the same build order. They switched around a couple of details here and there. For example, JH goes for, I think, Nexus Gateway Forge. I think that Cong, the latest forge by a lot. He wants to have his assimilator up way faster than JH does, so we're going to be seeing some earlier technology coming in from Cong, and the technology is going to be delayed a tiny little bit there from JH, although he's now adding on a second gas, so he'll probably catch up sooner or later. Not sure it can happen, cannot happen. Really not too sure, but usually the double gas means going to catch up, but Cong himself also has the one gas there. Now both players are on opposite ends of the map. They haven't found each other yet. They started scouting a while ago, but they're at the moment mostly scouting the middle spawns. It was like Cong is realizing that, okay, he's probably not on the middle spawn, so now I'm going to change my scouting pattern up and include the corners as well. He started a little bit later, so yeah, he's only about 2 spawns in so far. Now also going towards the corner. So first he checks the bases right next to him, and then he goes towards a corner. Whereas Cong goes for middle base, then to the corner, and then the probe is going into the This scouting pattern is really weird to me, but as long as it works, as long as he finds where JH is located, it shouldn't really pose too much problems for him. Now JH has got a citadel on the way, and so does Cong. Both players actually doing the exact same thing. There's some different mix-ups there with slightly different timings when they throw down a specific structure, but it looks like their citadels are finishing up right about the same time. They also both have robotics on the way, and a Tempest Archive coming in there for JH and for Cong. Yes, they are doing the exact same thing. Looks like JH though has a couple more probes at the moment. He's been a little bit more consistent than Cong, but Cong has more supply space. So yeah, this is looking like the exact same game from both ends. Third gas are coming in from Cong. No third gas there from JH. He feels comfortable on only 2. And I'll be damned if he adds on a third one within the next 20 seconds or so. I do feel it might happen, but it might not happen. But this is the first major deviation between the two players. 3 gas, 2... Alright, there's the third gas. There's no deviation at all. They're both still doing the exact same thing. It looks like they're going for shuttle Templar drops. And in a cross-type situation, that is honestly a very good choice to go for, because if you were trying to go for a fighting force early on and try to leverage your fighting force against the opponent's fighting force, because it is a cross-type situation and because both players kind of have a zealot well, in this case, only JH has a Zealot right here. He can see Cong leave his base. And because he can see Cong leave his base, he can prepare himself and defend himself really easily. It's going to take at least 25 to 30 seconds before Cong goes cross map and arrives in JH's base. Should give him plenty of time to prepare. So that is why both players in this situation are continuing with their choice to go towards shuttle drops instead of going for different kinds of options. The first player to get a vision on the sides is Cong here though, but he's getting attacked there by a Zealot. They're trying to stop the vision from happening. One Zealot there moving out. Got two more Zealots also moving out across the map, and he might spot out the shuttle by pure chance. By pure chance he finds the shuttle, so now he can prepare himself against that shuttle. That is just pure luck. That is pure luck and bad luck for JH. Pure good luck there for Cong. Cong now moving his Dragoons into position, microing against the Dark Templar. The Dark Templar goes down. The Dark Templar went into Kong's base to do some recon, get information, and maybe even distract from the shuttle. But he had himself prepared with observers. One shuttle there up on the high ground to get vision. This observer there is going to spot out the shuttle. I think he spotted out the shuttle, not too sure. He definitely saw the shuttle there. He knows the shuttle might be coming in very soon. I don't think JH knows the observer exists. He's waiting and biding his time. Waiting and hoping that Cong is going to leave an opening for the shuttle to fly in from. Now, both players have, I think, one cannon there in the back and mostly a lot of Dragoons to help intercept the shuttles. They're mostly relying on their reaction speed and map awareness to defend themselves against the drops. Now, we got another, that's a Zealot hunting for pylons to kill. He didn't make any more additional pylons because those Zealots are currently stronger than the one probe that can build pylons. So any pylon he would be thrown down might be a waste of minerals. So he's not throwing any additional pylons. Now both players have shuttle speed, Zealot legs, storm, and weapon attack number 1 on the way. Reaver they're finishing up for Cong. Don't see a Reaver on the map for JH. So it looks like JH is going for Templar Storms with the drops, and it looks like Cong is going for a Reaver drop. Both players really are looking kind of the same. There's a small supply difference because there's 5 more probes for JH. He's simply been more consistent. 6 probes more than Cong. Cong is falling behind a tiny little bit, but he's catching up as we speak. He's catching up as we speak. The Reaver there is still in the back. Both players haven't really done anything so far. One Templar there from Cong walking into JH's base. For information gathering purposes, finds a cannon, so he's forced to turn around. He can't go in any deeper. Maybe he can go in from the right side here, yes. He tries the right side, gathers more information, walks into an observer. The goons take it down. Supply difference of about 12. Whoa, the supply difference just shot up massively. 16 supply difference at the moment. JH is really building a bigger supply difference just from pure macro. Even though his APM is lower, looks like his macro and his build order might just be slightly more superior. And it's purely because he has more probes. About 6 more probes, that is making the difference. So both players have their level 1 attack finished up. Level 2 attack for both players is on the way. Shuttle speed also finished for both players. Shuttle speed is finished for both players. Got armor on the way there as well for JH. No armor on the way there for Cong because he only has a single force. He's adding on 2 more forces to get armor and shield at the same time as well. Another shuttle there, the first shuttle actually, flying across the map because shuttle number 1 is still hanging there up in the air for vision. You could replace this one with an observer because he has observers up on the hill for extended vision against drops. JH has no vision on the top side. He's got an observer there on the bottom side, but isn't covering most of the available options that Cong has to fly in with the shuttle, and gets spotted out once again by a probe. So very good timing there. Oh, I think he tried to go in for a drop, but he got intercepted. I heard the Dragoons firing. Dragoons take down the shuttle. No harm is done to the probes in the back. The probe difference is at about 10 now. H's probe production consistency really is paying off. Because his minerals, got so many more minerals. He's got almost 1,000 more minerals. He's got almost 20 more supplies, close to maxing out. Now, honestly, I gotta admit, this game, I expected it to be very action-packed. But so far, Cong hasn't shown off his trademark early game aggression, although now he's maxed out himself as well, and he's got a slightly bigger army than JH because he's got 12 less probes. So yes, his army is a little bit bigger, but JH has the defender's advantage here. JH doesn't know the attack is coming, so he might get caught by surprise a tiny little bit, but the advantage JH has is the fact that because he's still inside of his base, and because Cong is coming in through a very tight, narrow opening in the front, it's gonna be very easy for JH to defend because he has the natural spread and surround on Cong. So Cong now breaking in. He set himself up for a pretty good attack there. But Shuttle's leaving for JH there. Gonna keep her eye on that one. Shuttle drop comes in there from Cong, but he gets sniped. JH immediately notices the shuttle drop coming in. There's a shuttle drop from the bottom side as well. It's a Reaver shuttle drop. Tries to get a couple kills on the probe. Flies closer. Reaver unloads. Reaver gonna shoot the probes. Reaver gets the Scarab. Kills. It only kills about 3 of them, but the fighting force there in the front, though, is really hammering hard onto JH's defenses. JH's supply has dropped down quite a bit, but so has Cong's supply, and now Cong is getting dropped there by shuttles, but the probes are already running to safety, although now the shuttles are on the chase. There's nothing to shoot up into the air. Nothing to shoot up into the air. He's going to storm. He's going to get a pretty good hit there. Kills about 10 probes in the end. I think he's got one more Templar there, though, but here inside... Oh wait, he's going back in, he's waiting, he's dancing, he's distracting Cong. The Cong is fighting on the other side of the map at the same time as well. Templar there getting closer towards the probes, gonna try to storm. Probes are running away, probes get stormed, he loses another 6, he loses 7. But here back at home in JH's base, Kong's Dragoon fighting force is really doing a number on JH. JH lost the entire front section. About 5-6 gateways, about 7 pylons, a couple cannons as well. Dragoons are hitting hard, but now, because JH has been sitting and biding his time, building up Dragoons there in the corners of his base, he's now getting a great surround on those Dragoons from Cong, and Cong is forced to retreat back into the middle, though more reinforcements are on the way, but the supply difference is massive because he lost even more probes while I wasn't watching. It looks like JH really did a massive number on him. He got him good. 40 supply probe difference. That is a really big difference, and you can see it reflected in their total supply counts, where JH currently has almost 50 more supply than Cong. Cong is trying to keep up with just massing out a big ass army, while it's going to try to get a drop off at the same time as well, when he flies into observer vision. JH not responding. JH might notice it very soon there, though. He's going to fly in close. Oh no, the Templars unload way too early. Everything goes wrong there for Cong. Everything goes wrong there for Cong. So instead, he is forced to storm on the Dragoons instead of forced to storm on the probes, which he wanted to. Things went very bad there with that drop and load. He was supposed to unload the Zealous first, but he unloaded the Templars first by accident. Happens to the best players, it appears. I mean, he's a very good player, and it even happens to him. But now, because everything went wrong there for Cong, he still has a shuttle drop there trying to fly in. There's almost no Dragoons in the back to defend. He's going to try to wriggle his way and find a pathway towards the probes. He's getting in there. Finds the pathway in. Starts to unload the Templars. Templars storming. Templars hitting almost everything. And JH is down to 30 probes. His supply just got destroyed, but he has a bigger army. He has a bigger army. He's still bearing the fruits from the fact that he had a probe lead for most of the game. So his army is simply bigger. Like, the fact that JH has a bigger army, even though he's got less probes, goes to say a lot about how massive his army is. His army is massive. He got more supply, less probes. Alright, shuttle there almost gets cut out. Now it looks like there's a big fighting force on the middle. Looks like JH has the upper hand. He's sending his shuttle back to his own base, so the Reaver there is going to crawl forward. No Reaver shuttle micro there possible. Got one shuttle there on the top side, going to try to fly across the map and land another storm drop on JH. Cong is catching up in supply, but he's buying himself. He's trying to buy himself time. He's trying to keep those Dragoons out of his base for as long as he can, so he can rebuild his army as fast as he possibly can, and then have the defender's advantage. But the supply lead is still in JH's favor. Got a drop there coming in, drop. Almost gets sniped by the Dragoons. There's no Dragoons here back in the base, though. You got an open path there, straight towards the back. Gonna fly straight into those cannons, though. He unloads the Templar. Templar storms, Templar hits, Templar kills almost nothing there, though. Lucky break there. Quick reaction there from JH, even though he had no Dragoons present in the back of his base to try and snipe and defend. Another drop there from JH coming in from the bottom right of Cong's base. Cong has nothing in between. Only Zealots. He's trying to buy time there with Zealots in the front. Shuttle not yet going in. These Dragoons are absolutely destroying Cong's Zealots to have 1 armor, 1 shield, 2 attack. He's got better upgrades than JH. Didn't expect that one. One more shuttle there coming into the bottom side. He's breaking into the base. Cong has got almost nothing at all. Calls GG. Looks like JH wins by the virtue of simply having way better production and macro. Cong had better control, although he really messed up that one drop earlier that could have maybe won the game. But he really messed that one up. As you can see here, the difference in their production, in their macro, is just humongous. Cong destroyed more structures, Cong killed more units, but he produced 20 less units in total, and he had... the difference in resource is massive, specifically the gas, almost double the amount of gas mined. As you saw at the end, Cong could only produce Zealots, no Dragoons, even though he really needed Dragoons to defend himself. That gives us one win there for JH. Gets the first win of the day. So now I'm gonna take a drink and look for game number 2. Cong against JH. Alright. I think Cong kind of went out of his comfort zone of playing early game aggression in game number 1. So hopefully for game number 2, he's going back into his comfort zone, into his specific strength, his specific playstyle of playing with early game aggression. JH here on the Zerg. Cong on the Protoss. Let's see what's gonna happen. I firmly believe Cong will go for early game madness, because that is his signature playstyle, but you know, I thought the same thing from last game, but the last game he went for late game strategies, and it almost worked out. Honestly, it almost worked out. He was almost on par with JH. JH just had way... honestly, his macro for JH was way better. Cong tried to keep up with the macro, but he didn't quite have what it takes to beat JH in the PvP. Alright, so we've got Cong here going for Nexus Gateway. No Forge yet anywhere to be seen. There's the Forge. This is kind of like a PvT build order. Looks very defensive. Going for a mid-game economic burst. Like he's going for Nexus first. You won't notice the Nexus first in the early game, but in the mid and late game, you will have a huge lead compared to where you would usually be if you make that Nexus anytime later. Goes for double gas. This really looks like a PvT build order, but with Cong, you never quite know. He's got so many different early game build orders up his sleeve that he can completely throw you off if you're watching him. You don't quite know what to expect, because he can throw so many different things at you, and as opponent, everything is a surprise. I would honestly be surprised if he goes for a standard build order. If he goes for something standard, I will legitimately be surprised. Now JH here, scouting across the map. I think he knows where Cong is located. His Zerglings are going to the exact right position because he kind of deduced it. He kind of deduced where... Oh, this looks dangerous for Cong there. 4 Zerglings against a bunch of probes, and there's nothing to defend there in the back. He's gonna unstack his probes, try to clip into the Zerglings. Zerglings do pretty well here. 1 Zergling goes down, number 2... Ooh, he gets 2 probe kills, 3 probe kills. There's probes are still in the chase. Does he get Zergling number 3? Yo, all the Zerglings do go down. He kills... actually, Cong handled that decently well. Also, we had a fight going on there in the back. 1 Zealot made it into JH's base, killed 3 drones. So both players trade equally. A lot of Zerglings here from JH. He was expecting more Zealots. But it was only a single Zealot, maybe 2 Zealots sneaking into his base. But now the front has been fortified, so he doesn't need any more Zerglings. He's getting Zergling speed anyway, though. Not sure if I agree with the choice to go for Zergling speed. Maybe he feels he can go for some aggression onto the front door there, because there's 1 cannon in the front, he might want to take it down. Or maybe he's expecting Cong to go for some mid-building at the moment. Oh, there he goes. Zerglings on the hunt. Zerglings get on top of the cannon. Probe tries to block the Zerglings. The Probe is actually doing a pretty good job there. Probe goes down. Cannon goes down as well. Now the Zerglings are going in for the backside there. Probes are very quickly surrounding the cannon to block access to the cannon. Zerglings are stuck in between structures. They try to kill as many probes as he can. Kills 1, kills 2. Actually, he doesn't kill anything. Well, he killed one of them in the front, one in the back. So yeah, 2 probes, not a lot. Got a scout on the way from Cong, and air attack as well. I've never seen anyone do scouts except Hamburger Sasu this early into the game. And Hamburger Sasu was kind of messing around. So maybe Cong is messing around, maybe Cong is going for a serious build order. I have no idea. There's a fleet beacon on the way as well. This looks like we're up for some shenanigans. Cong is up to something funny. What it is, I don't know, but I do know that it entails scouts. I don't know if JH knows it's going to be scouts. He's of course assuming it's going to be a Corsair. That's why he's placing his overlords on top of a spore colony. He's building a spore colony there in the front as well. We're going to protect that overlord from harm. It does mean he doesn't have vision on his corners, which is kind of bad. But it's something he will have to accept for now, because honestly, putting your overlords on the corners means they're going to go down, and he simply doesn't have anything that can defend against those scouts. Does have a Hydra's then, got speed on the way for Hydras. Level 1 attack also on the way, but no Hydras anywhere to be seen. He's down 34 drones. He's been droning up very, very hard. He's only been making drones so far. He has another 4th hatchery there on the way. Well, 5th hatchery on the way. Scout there flying across the map. I don't think he wants to show it yet. But he's hunting for overlords. There's something there on the top side. Ooh! Wow, what a coincidence. Cong is going for a proxy of something. Oh no, I know what he's doing. He's blocking in the probe so that the probe, if he adds it to a scout group, the scouts will stack up. That's the sole purpose of that probe. The probe cannot get out. It's stuck. And the probe there being stuck and unable to attack will cause the scouts to stack up into a ball. This makes it very easy to micro them. And there he goes in, tries to micro on the overlord. They're gonna kill the overlord and flies out. Takes some damage on the scouts there though, but the scouts have a lot of shields and a lot of HP, so he doesn't really feel that all too much. You can see he doesn't really feel it all too much. Most of these shields, but the shields do regenerate. You've got Robos on the way there inside of Cong space. He's still making more scouts. It looks like JH is now adding on more hatcheries. He's adding on a lot of hatcheries. Getting a lot of spores there in the back as well. Hydras are spawning up as well. He's got Hydra's range finished or on the way. Overlord speed also on the way to help himself with running those overlords away to safety. The spores are going to keep those scouts away, and so are the Hydras. So this build order from Cong, not yet working out, but it might in the near future. It might work out in the near future. He's got level 1 attack for his air finished up. Let me just showcase that one. Level 1 attack finished up. He doesn't have another upgrade on the way. 2 more scouts are finishing up there as well. Yeah, he can't really do much at the moment except wait for his robot to finish, to get a support bay, to get shuttles, and to get reavers. But it's going to take a while. Cong, honestly, he's doing crazy things, but he's not doing early game aggression things. He's really going for the late game once again. And I really don't think the late game is his strongest suit. I really think he's an absolute early game monster, but he wants to try new late game build orders. And I must admit, this is not one of the serious build orders, but this build order can potentially be very, very strong as long as you can start killing the overlords. Starts killing some overlords. There's simply too many of those scouts to take down with the spores alone. And the Hydras aren't fast enough to keep up. So they're going to keep flying in circles. He took down the gateway there in the front. Took down the gateway. Level 1 attack is finishing up soon, within seconds. So you got Lurker. Yeah, there's level 1 attack. Lurker aspect on the way as well. Got Overlord transportation now on the way. So I'm smelling an attempt at a Lurker drop happening very soon. Took down the pylon there and the probe. Although now another probe, another pylon being built there in the other corner. JH saw it, so you know, might as well kill it with some Zerglings. More cannons being added on there in the front. Support base got shuttle speed on the way, got reavers on the way, no shuttles yet. More scouts still under production, getting level 2 attack, level 1 shield, adding on a second cybercore for armor, for air units as well. Spores being built there on the side from JH, very useful choice, extends the creep and makes it even more difficult for the scouts to really do anything useful. Got no Queen's Nest yet. He's starting to fill out all the gas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hatcheries in total. Queen's Nest in the front, actually. Was expecting the Queens in the back, but Koreans like to make it in the front because it is basically a structure that you're not going to use much anymore. So you might as well put it in the front and have it function as another structure the opponent has to kill while they're attacking. Even though it doesn't fight back, it's still 850 HP of delay. And that might just change the result of the game. Starts to upload all the overlords. Cong is spotting it out, kills one overlord. He's gonna try to kill more of them with this sweet ass micro. Goes in, bam, kills another one. Now he's on the hunt, gonna kill as many as he can. Overlords start to unload as fast as he can to try and fight back and save what's inside. And Cong retreats. Now got some shuttles on the way. More robos as well. Reaver's being loaded up. He's getting scarab damage upgrade there on the support bay. Level 1 armor on the way, level 2 weapon halfway done, getting even more stargates, and he got more cannons in the back as well to help himself defend against mulisks, and of course, the most important thing, overlord drops. But JH is changing his mind. He's feeling that, you know what, these scouts are probably going to keep killing my overlords, so I might as well just go for a regular frontal attack. It might work, because honestly there's about 10 cannons, even less, I think that's 10 cannons, yeah, 10 cannons in the front, 1 Reaver, 4 Zealots, not a very strong defensive fighting force. More Reavers are on the way though, and once those Reavers spawn, this is going to be very easy to defend. And there, once again, he tried to go for the Overlord drop, but Cong, constantly flying back and forth, finds the Overlords. He's using his sweet micro to take them down. He's on the hunt, going to take them all down. JH is now supply stuck. Overlords have nowhere left to go. Hiders are coming in to help and defend them. But every single Overlord gets taken down, and Cong gets himself a nice little victory that really slows down JH. JH now in 40s, 50s. 52 drones. He had a lot of drones queued up before the Overlords went down. He's 77 supply cap, so yeah, he's supply blocked for a little while. He's got 14 overlords on the way, added on 3 more hatches there on the side, and he's slowly getting all of his upgrades in place and in order. Got the hive finished. He has a great Aspire as well, not yet a great Aspire. He's only using 1 Evo chamber. He might get more very soon. He's currently focusing on splitting up all of his units in Hydras to have vision of where those scouts are flying. Getting vision everywhere. Got some shuttles there on the top side, but they're going to fly straight into Hydras, and they're going to get taken down. One of them, oh no, both of them get taken down, and so does the scout. The scouts here on the bottom side still flying back and forth, looking for stuff to kill. Hydras are on the chase, but not really fast enough to keep up by any means. More scouts are on. He's going for so many scouts, and I feel he might try to go for a scout bomb on the hive. That's something players like to do from time to time. They make a lot of scouts, and because scouts have so much HP, they can realistically take down the hive within 1 scout bomb, maybe 2. It really depends on what the defenses are. Like, if there's 20 spores, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. If there's devourers, it's going to be even more difficult. And if there is a defiler that plagues the scouts without hitting the hive, the scouts aren't going to melt. And in some cases, players even make queens with ensnare to slow down those units. Now we've got some Corsairs in the mix as well. Looks like it's up to something funky. The action is starting. The action is finally commencing. The Corsairs are in the mix to throw down disruption webs. He's first going to clean out a path for these shells to fly in from. Got some Hydras there on the pathway though, and spores as well. The Filer Mounter on the bottom side. Evo Chamber number 2 there as well. I don't see a Great Aspire being made yet. He's throwing down extra creep colonies there on the bottom side to start building more Sunkens. Maybe more spores, because he can rely on the lurkers to defend himself from units on the ground. It's going to be spores indeed. I don't see Devourers yet. Oh, there's the Great Aspire. I see the Great Aspire. He's got Consume on the way, Air Attack and Air Carapace both on the way, Ground Attack on the way as well for the Hydras. They're already level 2 attack. And there come the scouts with 2 shuttles there in between. Behind them, he's going to try to snipe the shuttles. 1 shuttle goes down. Shuttle number 2 is empty. So no, the drop there not going to succeed. The Corsairs didn't have Disruption Web yet. He's still researching it. He's got Settle Speed on the way as well. Air Armor level 2 also on the way, and level 3 attack also on the way, and level 2 shields also under production. He's making Observers as well. He's got Observer Speed there on the way. I think that's Observer Speed. Observer Speed it is indeed. Got a lot of stuff there on the way, preparing himself for a big attack somewhere on the map. Looking and flying. He's really just flying around. He's having the time of his life. I mean, flying scouts around is fun, but JH here is growing stronger and stronger. Only felt necessary to build 3 Sunguns in the front. I mean, why would you need more Sunguns if the opponent only has air units? So yeah, this is a pretty good choice there. Great disruption webs are on the Hydras too. Well, they already went down. Oh, another nice disruption web there on the Hydras. He's actually utilizing what he intended to use. Not every single player gets to utilize those disruption webs as well as he could right there. But he still has to use them and actually get results. We got reavers being made. He's really taking all the time he can. He needs more shuttles. He's got too many scouts, too many reavers, and no shuttles to speak of. Got some shuttles queued up there, but the shuttles won't be in production because there's a reaver in front of them in the queue. As you can see, oh, he's making the observer though because he's got some supply space open. As you can see, the shuttles cannot be produced because he doesn't have the room for more units. So he's mostly just filling out his entire base, building as much as he can. And honestly, I must admit, I have to agree, this is not why I selected Cong, because I was really expecting early game madness, but instead we're just getting madness in the late game madness. Let's see if it's gonna work. There's one scout there behind, won't be too hard to snipe and take it down. JH's gonna target fire the shuttle, and yeah, shuttle goes down. So now he goes for the hive, but there's the Valrus in the back there that are debuffing the Corsairs, and he's throwing down disruption webs as well. This is a pretty beautiful attempt, but there's so much that can shoot up into the air. The hive, like, this is laughable. He almost takes no damage on the hive. It took him simply way too long to get those scouts there into the backside of JH's base, and no harm is done. JH is strong, and he's tired of waiting because he's moving out into the middle of the map with everything he's got. Not all at once, but he's moving everything he's got into the middle of the map, and he's preparing himself for the attack. Couple more Corsairs there flying back and forth to open up a pathway, hunting overlords, hunting whatever is there to be found, and hopefully allow for this mass reaver shuttle drop to finally deal some damage. Because that's the one thing we haven't really seen from Cong for the last 17 minutes. And there comes JH, goes for the attack. The reaver started on the low ground. Got some swarms going down there in front of the cannons to protect the Hydras against cannon fire. But the Scarabs don't give a damn. They're gonna take down all the Hydras without much trouble whatsoever. They're gonna take it down quick, and so are the air units. There's a beautiful play there on the Corsairs taking out the Guardians, but the Guardians will take it down before the Corsairs even felt any pain. Beautiful play there on the front reavers, cannons, everything got hit. My favorite thing to do when I'm Zerg is plaguing on reavers and cannons. Because when he goes in with a very strong fighting force, this front section here of Kong's base is gonna melt within seconds. Even now you can notice that only those couple Hydras are killing cannons really fast, because there's only shields on those cannons and pylons. No health, just shields. So he's flying around. He found himself a nice little path, although he isn't feeling that secure about this path that he cleared out. He might get spotted out by the overlords that are detecting the observers. He might fly into the overlords on the top side. Corsairs have opened a path. He found himself a path, but can he actually touch ground in the backside here? There's so many lurkers there as well. So many spores on the top side. Balls all of his units up. He goes in for the drop. There's too many. Oh, beautiful disruption web there. Prevents the loss of shuttles, but the drones were running away to safety. Now he's forced to unload there on the bottom side on top of the Reavers. The Reavers are going to try to shoot on the Hive. Hive takes some damage. Hive takes a lot of damage. The Reavers do more than half of the health of that Hive. The Lurkers on the low ground successfully clear out the Reavers before they can really do too much. There's Mutalisks on top of Kong's Nexus at the same time, and actually he's gonna kill the Nexus. So it looks like Cong couldn't succeed what JH managed to achieve. JH takes down the Nexus. Cong fails to take down the Hive. Now I must admit it is easier to take down the Nexus than it is to take down a Hive, because a Hive has 2500 HP and a Nexus has 1500 HP. So yeah, JH there comes out on top in that exchange, and I don't think Cong is going to be able to take down that Hive anytime soon, although he's a pretty good spot there to unload here on the bottom side. But of course, Cong doesn't know what JH's layout is because he's only been flying out like over the past 5 minutes. He's been flying in from the top side there, from the top corner. So he only really knows the layout of this section right here down to the bottom side. He doesn't really know what's here on the bottom left. But he's going to try the bottom left. He's already clearing out a path with the Corsairs, hunting for Overlords. JH is preparing himself with a lot of Mulisks, turning them into Guardians. I believe there's also some Devourers in there as well. As you can see, some Devourers. So I'm going to make a screenshot of this because this looks pretty. And I'm going to hide the timer. I mean, you saw the timer, but you also saw the timing of the video, so you probably already know how long this replay is going to be. So I'm not really spoiling anything. The Defilers there, hunting for the he's hunting for the Corsairs with Defilers to throw a plague on them. He starts building on the middle of the map as well to secure the middle of the map. He's not yet attacking because he knows that anytime now, he is expecting Corsairs with shuttles to arrive and try to take down his hive. And he's first going to defend out of necessity. Not because he wants to, but he has to defend this first before he can go for a counterattack. Alright, he's coming in. A lot of Guardians there on the scene. Corsairs there as well. Reavers unloaded. Reavers going to shoot on. Oh, Storms on the Guardians. The Reavers can't hit the hive. Oh no. Reavers. What? Goes in for a Storm. The Storm doesn't quite connect with the drones. Okay, so that's not what I thought would happen. He kind of landed there on the spot, but was too far away to hit the hive, and he couldn't hit the hive, and now he's getting counterattacked, though the counterattack there not yet. Oh, beautiful plague there. That is really weakening up and softening up those cannons there in the front. Most of the Guardians are lagging behind. We got more Guardians being morphed there in the front. A lot of the Devourers high up in the air there to protect the Guardians from Corsairs. Got a Templar there in the back, only one Templar. Got an Arbiter there as well. Corsairs are finishing up. One Templar there, gonna move to the front soon as well to help defend against the Guardians. The cannons in the front are very weak. A lot of Reavers there as well to help defend against ground forces, but there's no ground forces anywhere to be seen. Corsairs flying across the map, hunting for more Overlords to kill. I think he's killed about 100 Overlords so far. Maybe not 100. Let's say about 50. Guardians coming into the front door, and the front door is melting because everything got softened up by the plague. Great Storm there on the Guardians. Forces coming in to kill the Guardians. The Devourers are lagging behind. There's Consume. I'm gonna throw down some plagues. Maybe a Dark Swarm. I'm not sure. No Dark Swarm for sure. Maybe plagues. He's eating up more units. Devourers there. Oh, Devourers take down the Guardians pretty damn quick, regardless of the debuffs. With its first attack, it managed to achieve a small little something, killing some canister in the front. Now it's gonna try to go in with hit number 2. It's a 2 combo attack. Corsairs going in for the attack once again. Still debuff from the Devourers in the back there. Devourers going in for the debuff onto. Great stasis there. But doesn't catch everything. There's still 3 Devourers up in the air there, debuffing the Corsairs. Mulas are hitting Arbiter. Arbiter goes down. Storm comes down on the Mulas. Mulas are dodging. Guardians in the front door took down the cannons that were being warped in, but they got taken down as well. Corsairs flying back and forth. Drop there coming in to the bottom. It's Arbiters. Arbiter recall is going to try to hit the hive this time around. He lands a little bit far away. Going to try to take down the Spire and the Hylas Den, but there's a great Spire there on the top side, so this won't harm JH too much. Great stasis on the Mulas there. Kill some drones, gonna go straight to the hive. There's only a couple lurkers within range to hit the Reavers. He's taking down the hive. I repeat, hive has fallen. Hive has fallen. So has Cong's front door. Those are still hitting stuff there. They killed almost everything in this little section there, including the hive. But both players have a lot of money, and Cong has a lot of gas, so defending shouldn't be too difficult, honestly. Even though he did lose his front door there, he still has a lot of production. Well, he has a lot of structures, but not a lot of gateways. So yeah, defending might actually be quite difficult because he can't really mass out Dragoons. He can at most make Corsairs, a couple Templars, and a couple Reavers to defend. Usually that should be enough. But Corsairs are honestly kind of useless because there are so many Devourers. Maybe there are even too many Devourers. This is like a lot of Devourers here hanging up high in the air. More Mulas coming in from behind, ready to attack onto those Corsairs. Storm comes out on the Mulas. Storms a lot of them dead really quickly. They arrived, and they immediately got taken down. They're flying back and forth there a little bit and gonna morph into Guardians there in the backside. He might rebuild this sometime in the near future because he doesn't have that much gas, and he's running through his gas really quick by continuously hitting Mutalisks. Once again, fight there, erupting there in the front. The Vars are really hitting those units in the air pretty hard. Templars coming into the back to the front side. Reavers on the ground are like, I want to do something here, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I can't really hit anything that can hit me. Archon in the back there. Archon is a great choice against the Vars and Mutalisks. Archon gets taken down. Another couple of great storms are right on top of the Mutas, and the Vars takes down a lot of them. Looks like he's going to defend himself here, but more units coming in from the backside there, right to the front side. The Fire Tail there, Fire Shielder on the middle, Guardians being morphed in the back. Mutas dancing back and forth against the debuff Scouts and Corsairs. All of the Vars are taken down, more Corsairs are arriving on the scene. And because there's no Vars left at the moment, these Corsairs are going to clean up very, very quick. Very quick. It won't even be a problem. It won't even be a hassle. But we're getting the switch up. We're getting a switch up. A couple of Zerglings coming in to help the Defiler consume and throw down plagues. Oh, so many Mulas coming out there in the backside. Mulas are overpowering the Corsairs. More Corsairs coming out from the backs of the Kong's base, and they're also getting overpowered. Because there's simply too many Mutalisks slightly split up. Who's going to win this fight? Who's going to win? Mutalisks are not going to win this one. I thought the Mutalisks had this, but they're going to get taken down. We're going to drop there coming in for the bottom side, but I might get spotted out very soon. He cleared out a pathway, actually, so he gets in unspotted, undetected. Shuttle doesn't take any damage. Only one Templar in there. Templar starts to load. Templar doesn't... Templar, come out, come out, come out, come out, Templar. Storms, storms, and he misses storms with the H. Loses only a couple of drones on the gas, which actually slightly hurts him because he isn't that high on gas at the moment. He's good on minerals there, though. Once again, an air battle happens and keeps on happening. Corsairs on the chase. Mulas trying to run away to safety behind the Hydras there. But there's so many Corsairs up in the air, although the tide might be turning. The tide might be turning because the Hydras and the Logan are supporting, and there's actually almost nothing on the ground there for Cong. He's got Dark Templars there in the backside. There's Overlords going to try to take down the Overlords to help the Dark Templars kill, but the Dark Templars get melted, destroyed, erased from planet Earth. Or, well, whatever planet they're on, actually. This is definitely not Earth. Get erased. Pretty damn quick. Pretty damn quick. Corsairs feeling kind of powerless against this army of Hydras. There's Reavers on the way. Still pretty far from finishing, though. He's got even more Corsairs there in the air. Corsairs still hunting for Overlords to kill everywhere he can find them. Now Guardians, Hydras, Overlords coming in for the attack. Fighter there in the back, ready to go and throw down some swarms. Reavers are clearing up the Hydras pretty quick though, but there's simply too many of them for the Reavers to keep up with. Goes on the plague on a single one. Got some Dark Templars, and Templars finishing there in the backside. They're going to try to defend, but the Hydras are simply, as I said before, too great in numbers. Some Reavers are on the bottom side. Going to try to defend though. 3 Reavers, not a high number. More Reavers are on the way. Corsairs are returning back home, but there's really not much they can do. There's a couple of Guardians they can attack. There's a storm coming down on some Hydras. Hydras get taken down, mowed down pretty quick. A lot of storm there comes up on the Guardians and the Hydras. Whoa, pretty damn good storms. Reavers on the bottom side got taken down by the overpowering force of TH, and Cong is scratching his head like, okay, I had a plan. I promised I had a plan, but I'm not sure what his plan. You know what? His plan simply didn't work. And honestly, his plan was kind of weird. I've seen people pull it off, but his build order he did is just very difficult to do. You can't just straight up go for Scout Reaver without softening up the Zerg first. And he never managed to soften up the Zerg because softened up himself instead. Lost his Nexus, lost his front door, and didn't have much production in terms of gateways to keep up with a ground force. He had a lot of robos though, but the robos got mowed down there because they were located in the front and they were fighting against Guardians. And honestly, it looks like Cong is just gonna end this right here and now. I mean, JH is gonna end this right here and now. Some beautiful Defiler plays, slowly pushing forward. The one Reaver there in the back is the MVP. He's gonna try to stay alive and keep saving the day against this overpowering force from JH coming in. It just keeps streaming into the middle. Everything has been rally pointed into the middle. Got one more drop there going to the bottom side. One Reaver is going to try to kill the last little bit of JH's remaining economy before JH kills him. But look at how many units are coming in from the middle into the Dark Swarms. The Dark Swarms providing protection against the cannons. Pretty much only the Reavers are defending here. Pretty much only the Reavers are defending here. Everything is going to get taken down. Drop comes in there on the bottom side. Reavers crawling forward, going to unload, going to shoot. Drones are running away. The Scarab can't connect. It does explode, but kills nothing at all. So JH's economy is completely fine. And now Cong's economy is getting taken down. Loses his last Reaver. He's got a couple Templars and Reavers on the top side trying to flank and crawl into the Dark Swarm. There's a Plague on top of the buildings and the Reaver, though. He's taking down the bottom side. Reaver there, also on the bottom side. Yeah, he's got Reavers on the top and the bottom side, trying to flank. Reavers inside the Dark Swarm, very, very strong. Actually, nothing at the moment here can kill them. They are... Oh yeah, the Dark Swarm disappears and the Reaver gets taken down within a couple of split seconds. Calls GG, JH wins, and Cong is scratching his head. As I said before, he's scratching his head because this was a very spicy strategy that might be a little bit too spicy to make work. Spicy stuff. Too spicy. And JH there successfully wins game number 2. Won game number 1, wins game number 2. But we've got a game number 3 waiting. Maybe even a game number 4 and 5 waiting to cast. But I'm going to do them another time because I've been here casting this for a while now already. And I am running out of my own time. So another time, we will take the time to cast the remaining games of this best of set. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 late game games. They were definitely not early or mid game games, as you would expect from Cong. But you know, I like them. I like these games. They were different. They showed a different side of Cong that I didn't know existed. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.